Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Martin Kimani. I'm Kenya's permanent representative. I have the pleasure to present His Excellency President Uhuru Kenyatta for this brief media stakeout. He will not be taking any questions after he speaks.
That's not a stakeout.
No, wait. Answer one or two. Right, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and let me speak to you briefly in my national capacity now. We have just concluded the Security Council high-level open debate on peace building and sustainability, diversity, state building, and the search for peace, which I was privileged to preside over. The Council received insightful briefings by UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres, President Paul Kagame of Rwanda, former President Thabo Mbeki of South Africa, and the Honorable Fauzia Kufi, who served as the first woman second deputy speaker of the Parliament of Afghanistan. I chose this topic because many countries today seem unable to manage diversity. We have built a global system that increases divisions between, but also within nations, a system that believes there are races or genders which are inferior or superior, or religions that are closer to God than others. Consequently, many of the conflict situations before our Security Council are either directly or indirectly a consequence of poorly managed, identity-defined grievances. I'm happy to note today that we have had a rich debate focusing on the need for all of us to avoid this dangerous trend and instead embrace respect and appreciation of people at the national and local levels, regardless of their identities. Many speakers acknowledge the relevance and timeliness of addressing diversities in conflict situations, and there was general agreement on the need to graduate the conversation to the next level. There was also a strong call to build politics of cohesion that strengthen confidence in public institutions and afford all citizens a sense that the state and its efforts fully embrace their diversity. In my statement, I stated our famous handshake experience in March of 2018 with the leader of the opposition in Kenya to underscore the centrality of political innovation that places the safety, unity, and prosperousness of citizens above any political rivalry. At the national level, I recommended for countries to place constitutional and legislative safety nails on political competition to guard against exploitation of identity or to divide and create enmity between citizens, between regions, between nations. We also call for an education system that encourages critical thinking and a strong awareness of the importance of contributing to social peace and unity. At the multilateral level, we called on the United Nations and its peace-building initiatives to embed the appreciation of diversity and cohesion as a core deliverable in capacity building to strengthen states. Further, we also emphasized the need for a collaborative approach between states and the United Nations system, which mainstream media and technology companies owning social media platforms to counter hate speech and incitement. In the coming weeks, we will be exploring ways in which we can work together with other Council members to advance this important conversation in the interest of international peace and security. Thank you.
Mr. President, James Bayes, Al Jazeera. Can we get your comments on another important development, which is your reaction to the International Court of Justice ruling, which clearly favours Somalia? Will your country respect the court's ruling?
I think all I will say on that is the ruling has just come out. I need to go through it. Came out while we're in the session, but definitely before the end of the day, you'll be hearing my statement on that particular issue.
Mr. President, Sherman Bryce, South African Broadcasting. A question on Ethiopia. Despite calls for an immediate ceasefire, an inclusive political dialogue in that country, we are now getting reports that fighting has resumed on all fronts. You might have seen that the United States has established a framework to impose sanctions on individuals that are fueling this conflict. Is it time for Washington to apply those sanctions in that framework? What's Kenya's position on the way forward?
I think our position, which is the position of the African Union, is that we will continue to seek dialogue on all sides. We will continue calling for an immediate cessation of hostilities by both sides. We will continue to urge for the need to have a political resolution, because we do not believe that there is any military solution, and we need to urgently have all parties coming across a table in order for us to be able to ensure that all humanitarian corridors are actually opened, and the people who are the greatest sufferers of this conflict do receive the much needed aid and humanitarian assistance that they need. So ours is to continue, first and foremost, to call for that ceasefire, to call for national dialogue, and for all parties to cease hostilities and be able to engage and find a political solution that will result in the people of Ethiopia to end their suffering, but also, most importantly at this particular moment in time, to ensure humanitarian access to all the people.
Are those calls falling on deaf ears, Mr. President?
I won't say they're falling on deaf ears, because we are still engaged with them, and we will continue to push, not just as Kenya, as a neighbor and a member of the Security Council, but also through the African Union and through our regional body, which is IGAD. Last one.
Celia Davaren, Africa Confidential. Mr. President, how do you feel to find your name in the Pandora Papers?
Well, as I said before, my name, first and foremost, is not there. And secondly, there has been no mention of any illegality or wrongdoing on my part. And as I said before I left Kenya to come and attend this meeting, I will be addressing that issue comprehensively once I arrive back home. Thank you all very much.